So basically, what this episode, episode 4, basically what this anime basically is called, it says, "With you, our love will make it through." I kind of want personally want to talk about here is that I felt like this episode was not really over that dramatic that I really wanted to be. I don't mind seeing the love interactions and stuff like that based in the episode. I don't mind personally basically seeing that. But the problem is that I have based with this episode, it's kind of too much of a romance based kind of like a series because it doesn't seem like it's really basically feeling into a dramatic basically as an area that I really do want to see, and because I want to see more a conflicted basically conflict between basically other people when it comes basically in this anime and stuff like that. Now, I'm not saying this anime is terrible. I'm not saying this anime is bad. I think that's one of the reasons why I'm saying this because it's basically one of the weaknesses that I basically feel when it basically comes basically in this anime because I feel like this anime it's not really basically offering me more a dramatic basically kind of a situation because I feel like it's not really personally really not doing that. So I kind of want to say here is that I'm not upset because based on this episode, I'm not upset or anything like that. I'm just kind of basically kind of like I expected more to be more of a dramatic of a situation and stuff like that. Like I said before, I will say it again. I don't mind seeing the romance and stuff like that. Basically, like the making out or basically like kissing or stuff like that. I don't mind personally basically seeing that. But sometimes that can be kind of a big huge distraction because if you don't add no dramatic basic different scenes basically in the anime, that can lead to a really big distraction and that will not lead to any character growth basically and basically what basically in the come based on this anime. That's just my opinion. That's what I definitely do think. I don't want to press one to definitely do think like like I said before, I don't hate it or anything like that. I just want to see more a dramatic basic in a conflict between characters and stuff like that. We did see a little bit basically of that, just a tiny bit, but not really basically really all that much and stuff like that. I want to see them basically improve that basically a lot more better. One thing I'm very happy the most is the stuff like that. There are good reasons, so I'm going to explain those good reasons. For number one, my very good reason that I like this anime is the graphics based on this anime. The animation is beautiful, it's wonderful, it's really good, it's very pure, really actually great. It's by far one of the most uh, inspirational inspirational graphics episodes I've ever seen basically in other anime that I've seen in basically such a long time. I can't remember watching a romance anime like I think it was like no, it's not Kaon. I think it's Clannad. Clannad basically is a very great example. It has very good dramatic, basically scenes, very good conflicts and stuff like that. That's something I definitely do like, basically in anime. But to be honest with you, but when I'm watching this anime, I really don't see that. I really don't see those conflicts basis going on. But could there basically be some conflict spaces that could happen? Basically, to be honest with you, I definitely do think it really basically definitely could happen. The subtitles, that's number two. They definitely are very good. The subtitles are very good. They're very distant. They're not very far off distant, but they are very good. And that's a major plus basically for me. I definitely do think that is very good. Number three, the storyline seems to be very good. It's very structured. It's very bound. It's really basic as good, but like I said before, I still would definitely think I don't see that really much basically of that dramatic situation or that much of that conflict that we really don't see. But if I don't see that, then I kind of feel like that's a push away from me because I want to see more of the engagement, basically a conflict of a situation. That's one thing I really want to see, basically in an anime. But if I really don't see that, then that's not necessarily a good thing. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm saying that's just personally not a good thing. I don't want people to really think that I'm judging this judge this anime by the book by its cover or anything like that. I've said this many times before. I don't judge an anime by the book of its cover. I really don't, or basically a movie or anything like that. I kind of look at basically a more different in the formation based of a different route of basically how I see the anime presents it that it really actually is. Number four, the reason why I love this anime because there's a lot of good things, or a lot of good things that I've loved about it, based about this, because this is a different romance love anime. It's basically kind of like something a lot more different than normally like you see based from Planet or based from Little Busters or based from other different animes that you may have watched basically back in the past. But the reason why I prefer this anime a lot more better, I know a lot of people will probably argue with me over this. I know this anime is not a lot better than Clan. I know that, but it feels like to me it's kind of like a little bit on that level, a little bit, but not barely just there as of yet. That's my argument, and I know a lot of people would disagree would be basically with that, but I would definitely, will say that's something, that's something, that's basically what I definitely think. I see it basically near to that level. I have to say, the new anime I'm watching right here is right here in Clan. It's basically like right there. That's what I definitely think. That's what it basically feels to me. I feel like it's not up there, but I just feel like it's just not right. I just feel like it's just not right there. That's just what it feels to me. But the reason why I also love this anime is because not just because of the romance and stuff like that, because the aspect basically of a human being in love with a furry person. Now, here's some of the bigger things that people probably won't basically like watching this anime. And the bigger things that a lot of people probably won't like watching this anime is because for one is for a furry person being in love with a human is personally is not a good thing. I understand some people will probably label this as a bestiality basically kind of a situation. I know YouTube is probably not gonna like me saying that and stuff like that. But I'm being honest. I'm not using basically as generalization, but just being weird, but use it as generalization just to understand. But sometimes people use bestiality in such a basically such a nature that they shouldn't be doing. That is something personally to me. I feel like that's personally like taking it way too far, and I say like, you can't be doing that because that's just not right. I just don't feel comfortable basically with that. That's not right. That's just my opinion and stuff like that. But I don't see there's nothing really based wrong with somebody basically when it comes to an anime based like a furry person basically like being in love with a human being or anything like that. But even though let's just say personally just say this is not real life, but this is just an anime. That's really actually it. So I understand a lot of people will say like for one you're mentally ill, for two you're weird for liking this anime, and number three why would you want to watch this anime? I think it's interesting. I think it's really something normal to watch. I definitely think that it really actually it is a soft corn basically of an anime that I definitely do think that nobody probably has ever seen before, but a lot of people would probably say like they're just going to shine themselves from the situation and say like, yeah, no, I'm just not going to watch it. So basically, that's what I think. Now, one thing I definitely want to talk about is basically as the main protagonist and basically the main female protagonist Takagi and also Asuka also as well too. They're both struggling basically with their feels. But let me say this also as well too, just for people, just to clarify, just for them to understand. They're both very, very young. They both are going through their sexuality of their nature, of basically how they explore of basically what they do and stuff like that. But to be honest with you, they're both very young, but they're trying to figure out what is their feelings and stuff like that. How do they feel basically with each other and like what is their perception based off that? But the question is, will both of them will fall in love? That's the question. I'm not really actually 100% sure, but I definitely do think there is a very good possibility both of them probably could basically fall in love. But I'm not saying like it's going to happen just like that. I'm not saying it's definitely going to happen just like that, But I'm definitely gonna say it. There is a very good possibility that could happen in the nearby future, but I really don't know if it's not. If it's not, if it doesn't really happen based on the near time future, then it probably won't. But the question is basically what I can based with him and stuff like that, will he basically get jealous or basically will he just basically feel like, oh, I feel like this is not fair because that he's taking her and then because like that could lead to a conflict basically them two basically can maybe not being friends or maybe lead into other big implications down the road. And one thing I want people to really notice as well too, because when Tatsuki and also Asuka, basically they wants to go somewhere private. They basically want to talk. You could just tell some of the humans were basically going like, "What's going on?" They're like watching this and seeing like what's going on. Not they're not watching like basically like private, but somewhere where they can't be here or they can't be seen, right like that. But when you personally have a conversation basically with somebody like your friend or your girlfriend or your wife or something like that, you want to go somewhere private where you don't want to distract so much attention because usually a woman does not want to be distracted so much of a attention because can be kind of a big distraction. Big distraction is basically kind of like basically like if you were to see somebody kissing, yeah, that can be a distraction because everybody's going to stare, going to watch it. Let's say as for a Nintendo Switch or based on manga or anime or anything like that, that could be a distraction for people to be distracted on. That's a distraction. That's basically what it feels to me. But yeah, anyways, that's it for this episode. I definitely think this episode was okay. Not really the best, but I want to see more improvement. I want to see more dramatic basis. I'm not going to drop it, but I really want to see more of dramatic in nature based on the. But yeah, anyways, this is I'll see you guys later. Take care. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Don't forget to subscribe. Please consider subscribing. Please like button. Give me a thumbs up or give me a thumbs down. And please let me comment below. Anyways, I love you guys. Take care. Hope you got a wonderful day. And I'll see you guys later. Take care. Bye.